Just like you can't judge a book by its cover, you can't judge a wine by its label. But that doesn't mean you can't learn a lot about it by seeing the wine label and reading it pretty carefully. First of all, the most prominent part of a wine label is the name of the producer. In this case, it's Chateau Souverain. And people become very loyal to their favorite winemakers and favorite wine producers, and that's pretty much what they look for first. The next thing on a wine label is the appellation. The federal government designates wine-growing regions in the United States. Now, in order to use an appellation on the label, that means at least 85% of the grapes have to be harvested from that region. Next most important thing is the year, the vintage. Here it's 2002. That's the year that the grapes were harvested, not when the wine was bottled. That's an important distinction because every year is different in winemaking. So it's good to know what year you're looking at because it can change from year to year. The other important part of the wine label is the varietal. This is a Merlot. In order to use the name of the varietal, which is the type of grape it is, you need to have 75% of that grape in the bottle. Now, most Merlots or Cabernet Sauvignons also include some other types of grapes, and many of the great wines of the world are actually blends. Somewhere on the bottle, the alcohol by volume has to be listed, according to the law. Most table wines are between 11 and 14%, but some of those alcohol levels are starting to tick up, so you may want to read the label closely to find out what the alcohol level actually is. If your wine bottle says estate bottle, that means that all of the bottling process, the grape growing process, were under control of one company. Now, often, vintners will buy grapes from other sources. That's not unusual at all. But if it is under all the control of one company, then they can put estate bottled on the label. The terminology that we have to be very careful of in the United States is the word reserve. A winemaker may think that's its best wine and put the word reserve, but there's nothing by law stopping him from putting on the worst wine and calling it reserve. So it really is no indication of quality to have the word reserve on a bottle of wine. So it's important when you pick up a wine bottle in a store to read it carefully. Read the label, become a good consumer of wine, and you can really learn a lot about what's in the bottle by reading what's outside it.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.